What's going on? What's going on? This is the Mega Bull, and I got some news for you. Wells Fargo and HBC Bank will be using blockchain technology for the first time in the settlement process of cross border payments. Now, when you look at this, you, it's naive to think that they're barely starting to do this. Very naive to think that. And I think that when you look at things like this, you wonder, well, how soon can it be where all these digital assets that we're invested in are going to take off? Well, patience, young grasshopper. Patience. This is, obviously there's the short to middle term or medium term gains, but then there's the long term gains. And I think what's important to note is that the news is slowly creeping out. And usually, when things happen very slowly, people get impatient. And like Warren Buffett says, that money goes from the impatient to the patient because those who cannot wait will end up making moves that will cost them money. So you have to be very patient. Another thing is, if you're invested in XRP, right? David Schwartz, he came out with the news last year that the banks were using a side chain on the XRP ledger where they're trialing their CBDCs. That was big, massive news. So, you think they were just doing it last year? No, the news just happened to come out last year, but they're doing it way beforehand. And here, we see that, Wells Fargo and HSBC is to use blockchain tech to settle transactions. It says the two services titans will jointly use a shared settlement ledger to process US dollar, Canadian dollar, British pound, sterling, and euro transactions, one of the largest currencies of the world. The companies have plans to extend the platform to settle additional currencies, etc., etc. The platform runs on Barton Systems' core FX distributed ledger technology. Now, when we see this, cross border payments is one of the payment systems that has the most friction, and it's used a lot. There's a lot of offshore accounts that are all over the world to the tune of anywhere between $10 trillion to $27 trillion. Now, that number may have increased with all this new money printing that's been going on. And if you think about that, if you can put in all the money in the world and go ahead and use the digital assets that have fundamentals and utilities, and you have these banks like Wells Fargo and HSBC, which are one of the few, right, that are involved in all this. We know JP Morgan's also involved. When they start utilizing all the digital assets, especially the ones that I've been talking about, because I've shown in videos that they're all interconnected, right? And they provide a specific use case that's very different from one another, but they all complement each other. When all is said and done, you're going to see the price of these tokens take off, right? It's like the flywheel effect. And so it's important that you stay patient. And when you see things like this, that this should make you bullish on what you're holding. And I highly recommend that you go and watch my crypto series videos on these different assets that I'm doing. I believe the next one I'm going to do will be on DAG Constellation. I'm very curious about that one, and I want to go see what it's all about. So if you have any tokens that you're interested in that you believe have good use cases, go ahead and comment in the comment section below, and I'll take a look at them. But I'm telling you, seeing this is something that should let you know. I mean, this has been in the works, but when these type of news articles slowly start leaking out and coming out, you know that adoption is right around the corner. And Coinbase IPOing last year was a huge step forward. So stay tuned. I believe altcoin season's about to rip off, and that you should take profits in. because when you take your profits, you have some money, and when the bear market comes, you reinvest it. But always have uh, a plan on how you're going to go about it, because I know when the narrative gets really good, you're not going to want to sell. But that's when you want to uh, sell the news, buy the panic. That's how it's done in the crypto space. So without further ado, this is the Mega Bull, and stay bullish for the long term. Have a good one. See you in the next one.